Make sure I clean this lens up here.
What's going on, guys? My name is Sayasenh. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, and then comment below once you've done so. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, and I really appreciate the love and support. Today, I want to talk about 5 things that I wish I would have taken seriously when I first started my business within the first year. Tip number 1 that I want to talk about is people are not always going to come to you. This kind of ties back into my first vlog when I talked about there's so much more to a business that people don't understand that you need to work on, that you need to do. It's not just shooting a video or photo and then editing it in post-production. It's so much more to that. Customer service, sales, marketing, everything like that. I thought when I first started that my work is so amazing and it's gonna be shared all over the internet. People are just gonna wanna work with me. That's not the case, especially with this older generation that are still in business. They don't understand and value and can grasp the concept of creating something visually when it comes to video and photos. You have to really sell them on the product, on how it could benefit them and bring them more clients, more sales, and in return increase their revenue, and if they wanted to be able to scale their business. Learning sales is so important. Also marketing, especially in the day and age that we live in now, social media marketing. If you know marketing in this day and age, you are winning. You are winning. Understanding that this new generation that is coming up, they're all on social media. How do you get in front of, being able to get in front of their face since they're not on TV? No one watches TV anymore. And if they are watching TV, it's to stream something from the internet, Netflix, Disney Plus, things like that. Knowing how to market and also go out and get those clients. Cold calling, cold emailing, referrals. Again, Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing. What really helped me out when I first got started, referrals. Then led on to being able to cold email, using Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing. Instagram marketing, in my opinion, is huge right now just because a lot of the clients that I have in my niche are on Instagram. That's the generation that is now starting to get married. You have to go out and get them. Number 2 is picking a niche. You could always go very broad and say that you can do everything. Oh, I do newborns, I do senior pictures, I do family pictures, I do sports photography, I do commercial photography, I do events, I do weddings. You do so many things. But if you hone down on one specific niche, that is so key to being an expert in that field. Being a wedding photographer, being a wedding videographer, you are an expert. And things are going to be so much easier too for you because when you're a wedding videographer, you know what to capture and what not to capture. As far as audio and things like that, you already know in your head what you're going to use and what you're not going to use and how you're going to tell the story. And if you're a good videographer, you should know that the most important thing with creating that video is understanding your client, getting to know your client, and building that relationship with them. The third thing that I want to talk about is understanding and researching your niche. Who is your demographic? Is there a need for it? Also, don't reinvent the wheel if it's already been done, unless it's somehow going to benefit you, your business, and your time. So what I mean by that, when I first started my business in the wedding niche, videography, wedding videography in specific, I decided that it was smart to add a documentary edit on top of a highlight film for the price of a highlight film. A lot of you wedding videographers are looking at me like you are incredibly insane. I know. That was a mistake, and I've learned from my mistakes. And if you're new in this game, learn from people who have made those mistakes to cut your learning curves. So yeah, don't reinvent the wheel if it's not going to benefit your business and save you time. Fourth thing that I want to talk about is knowing your revenue and your expenses, what's coming in and what's coming out. The biggest thing when I first started, when I was younger, 4 years ago, when I first got into the videography and photography game, don't buy it if you don't need it. I'm talking about equipment. I have a lot of equipment that I don't use and it just sits and collects dust. I have a slider that I don't use. I have lenses that I don't use. Unless you know for a fact that you're going to be using it all the time, buy it. If you're going to be using it one time, rent it. It's just as simple as that. Unless you're using it all the time, you need it every single day, go ahead, buy it. But if not, don't. So part B to that segment is subcontractors. Knowing what you can afford for a subcontractor. Before, how I would think of it is I need to get the best second shooter to get all these beautiful shots for this client. There are a lot of videographers who are willing to work for the price that you set. If you let the subcontractor set whatever cost it is, it's gonna end up hurting you like it did me. At the time when I first started, I wasn't charging a lot. I was charging maybe $1,500 for a wedding video. My second shooter would be $500. And it hurt me, especially with the time that I had spent. But now my prices have increased to starting at $3,200 and up. I can afford that. But when you're first getting started, really understand what you can afford and what you can't afford. Number 5 is always have a contract. Protect yourself, and also you're also protecting whoever's hiring you, yourself. There was a time where I was doing music videography, music photography for a local promoter and venue, and didn't have a contract or anything like that. I've done some work with him prior to this, but it ended up not working out, because when I did the third video for him, I was able to deliver, but he wasn't able to pay me. So he expected me to give him the deliverables and him not pay me, and I wasn't going to do that. You can pay me. I already have the video done. I showed it, but I had my watermark on there, and he just didn't pay me, which is fine. I ended up posting it anyways. I just didn't give him credit for it. So always have a contract for you to protect you and also them as well. But you know, your time is worth your money, as well as much as that was a huge portfolio piece. At the end of the day too, like, I gotta eat. I'm a business. I need to be running. I took the time out of my day to go do that. 6th thing that I want to talk about is delegating or hiring other people to help you grow your business. When it comes to hiring people, you want to look at what areas within your business where they can help you out and take some of that weight off your shoulders. So with me, I'm doing the sales, the marketing, the customer service, the shooting itself, the day of the wedding. Where can they help out? Where do I need help with? And that's editing. There's so much that I need to do as far as emailing, calling, etc., answering the phones, things like that, that it really slows me down when I need to stop editing to take care of these. And that's where for a while I was backlogged. It was because of those issues. I was handling customer service when I should have been editing, and that put a toll on my reputation as well as my business. So knowing when to delegate work and hiring people or outsourcing your work is huge. I understand that it could be hard hiring someone in-house or a freelancer. They want a certain price, but you can only afford here. Their also work is down here. Their work doesn't match up to what they're asking for, and that also kind of hurt my business, because I ended up having to do the work anyways. So one thing that I've learned that helps when it comes to finding a freelancer is if they can do 80% as good as you, if not better, they're the one to work with. Some other tips and tricks is, I'm just going to go out and say it's not anything particular to the list. These are just kind of some bonuses. Is never stop learning and drop your ego. Dropping your ego and not thinking that you're better than anyone else. Whether you are self-taught and your come up was really fast and huge and everyone knows you within the state, drop your ego, because you're not the best. There's always someone who's better than you. And also, never stop learning. The reason, because within this creative space, if you're a videographer, photographer, digital media marketer, everything is quickly evolving. So you need to keep up with the times or you get left behind. It's survival of the fittest. That's how it is. If you guys need any clarification, please comment below. I hope that was enough information to help you guys. I hope it wasn't overwhelming. If you guys need any clarification, please let me know in the comments. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. Follow me at Instagram at Sayasenh. Again, guys, thank you for your love and support. I hope you got some value from there, and we'll see you next week.